Hello and welcome. I'm Ian. I am continuing my Heart of the Swarm in-depth look at. Next up in this video we're going to cover rocks. Rocks are a staple to StarCraft 2. And we've got a new type of rocks in StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. It's called the Collapsible Rock Tower. It has 500 health. And essentially what it does is you attack it and it falls down next to the location. So currently in the maps there's two positions where collapsible rock towers are placed. One is at a double wide ramp and the other one is at an expansion. So in this scenario here we've got a collapsible rock tower. If you attack here, the rocks will fall down and block your entrance. So you can imagine this being used offensively to kind of trap your opponent in their base for a little bit longer. Or you can use it defensively if you want to fast expand, drop the rocks, and buy yourself a little bit more time. So that's kind of the general uses for the collapsible rock tower. I'm going to look at the mechanics. I'm going to see what it actually does to units it falls on. So for example here I've got some creep tumors, I've got some banelings, and some general purpose Zerg units, and I've got some infestors showing up. So I'm going to see what happens to these units when the rock tower falls on it. So I've got burrowed infestors here, I've got banelings that are burrowed, and creep tumors. I'm going to kill the rocks, and we will just see what happens to these units. Get a low there, put all my forces. And there falls and kerplat. So let me pause this here for a second. So you can see once the rocks fall down, this position where the rocks initially were becomes, it stays impassable. You can't kill this area and walk past it. It still stays a single ramp over here. Whenever you kill it, the rocks fall down here, and for some reason they go up to 2,000 life. So they have the standard destructible debris life of 2,000, which is the same as Wings of Liberty. It falls down there and it seems to kill some units and not kill others. So if we just figure out how the mechanic works, we can easily figure it out for many other things. So we noticed that the creep tumors died, the banelings died, but the infestors didn't die, and the roaches and zerglings didn't die. So from this we can conclude that units that are in the grid that is underneath the rocks, if they're in that position and they are locked down and they cannot move, then they will be killed by the rocks. So, for example, creep tumors obviously don't move, so they will die. Banelings don't move underground, and they died. But all the other units that were in this position, that were just standing there, they were pushed out of the way, and they didn't get killed by the collapsible rock tower. But you can do something sort of like, you can fungal growth an army that's coming up the ramp, kill the tower, it'll fall on it and kill them. So if you can just essentially immobilize an army at that location, kill the rock tower, it will deal 500 damage to anything that is in that location, which is a lot of damage. So that's one use of the collapsible rock tower. So next up, we're going to be here in Core Hall City, looking at collapsible rock towers once again. Now, I'm not quite sure what type of rocks these are. Are they metamorphic? Are they igneous? Sedimentary? I'm not a petrologist, so I won't make that guess. You'll have to look for, get some answers from Blizzard on that. But one thing I am interested in is, I was talking earlier about the second position that they place collapsible rock towers. In this situation, it's at the third base, or possible third base of an expansion. So it's not directly blocking your base, but it's still there. What you can do is you can attack the rocks outside your opponent's base. Let's say this is my opponent up here. I can go up here, kill his rocks before he takes the expansion. Rocks will fall here, and he will not be able to make his expansion in this location. I'll have to kill the rocks. So that's kind of a way to just screw over your opponent just for a little bit. But the other option is aggressively attacking the rocks. Now, let me talk about this here. Someone actually sent me a message on YouTube to give me this idea, and I thought it was pretty neat. How does this affect a building? So we saw previously that if rocks fall on something, it does 500 damage. Conveniently, a nuke does 500 damage, which is the exact same life of a collapsible rock tower. So the nuke will deal 500 damage to a command center. As you see here, the rocks will fall on it and deal 500 damage also on top of it. So the command center has 500 life, but if you add in another nuke, which does another 500 damage, you can actually two-shot a command center with 2 nukes, because the Collapsible Rock Tower, it does 500 damage on its own.
Our SCVs are under attack.
So I can show you that real quick here. Got 2 nukes ready. You're going to activate the nukes. The nukes will cause it, and then boom, there we go. So, Collapsible Rock Tower debris. Now, there's another mechanic here I'm really interested in, because if you notice, whenever I did it this time, the rocks actually fall. They actually are placed there. Back here, they're gone. So if the rocks fall and whatever is there doesn't die, the rocks don't appear. But if they fall and kill whatever's there, then they do appear. So that's something critical to know about how the mechanics of the Collapsible Rock Tower work. How can you use this to your benefit? It's hard to say. Maybe you could build a bunker here. No, actually, that wouldn't survive it. It would have to be a command center, something with more than 500 life. You'd have to build there. You need something. Yeah, you could build a barracks there. So if you built a barracks here, blew up the rocks, fell down on there, then lifted it up. I mean, I don't really know what purpose that would serve, but it's possible. Then you don't have to worry about your opponent coming and doing it to you before you build your command center and they double nuke it. Really, really random case scenarios here, but I just wanted to show you guys this, show you how collapsible rock towers work, what they are, and how they're going to affect Heart of the Swarm. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this special geology-based episode. See you later.